glad that you joined me again. Today we're going to get into grief and torment in death. So this is a story about what I went through when my grandma died. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so in 2016, my grandma passed away. She was honestly what I saw as a second parental figure in my life. I loved her to life. She was everything to really everyone in my immediate family, really my whole family. She was that centralized person to help everybody. She was a minister, a preacher, an evangelist, a missionary, a prophetess. I like to go down the list because one time I called her an evangelist because her name was literally evangelist on everything. And she was like, I'm a preacher. She said something. And I said, okay. I've never been good with the titles because I feel like you never know someone's title until they announce it. Like, the titles just keep changing. You go from daggum evangelist to deaconess to bishop to apostle to like so much. Anyway, so she was a light in literally a lot of people's lives. That was my grandma. Lived with her from birth. You know, literally since 1996 we lived together up till she died. So I definitely regretted certain situations. I don't do good with sick people in general, honestly. And it's something that I have made a point to try and get better at because of my grandma. There would be times when she, just be, feeling how she's feeling and might touch me or something. And I would absentmindedly move away and I'd be like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And it's like nothing to do with her. It's just me, and I don't know what it was in me. I would always feel grief surrounding that in how I dealt with the situation after the fact. And I've prayed and I've I've done a lot of things to just say, like, I know that you know me and I know you don't think about this or take it any type of way, and I know that but it's just like sometimes you just wish you could have done better in certain situations. So after she died, I'm not really going to talk about what happened up to her death or anything like that. I'm not even going to discuss why she died or anything like that, or I'm just not going to do all that. This video is about grief and torment in death. So after she died, I went through a lot, like a lot. So she died on Good Friday in 2016. That was it was my password for a long time. March 25th, 2016 is when she died. So that was I go to a Baptist university, I did. So we was out for Good Friday. Like, they have it pretty much as dead week because then we have finals and stuff coming up soon. So that was our dead week, I think. Or maybe, no. That was our midterm week. And then, like, the end of the week is, like, your dead week. So you can just go do whatever you're going to do. So, anyway, that's what happened. And I had to, obviously, come back to school. So I went back to school. And I was going through, y'all. I didn't have a roommate. So I was super happy about that because that's not something that I had to deal with. I literally didn't have a roommate. I had pushed my beds together to make a queen bed. Had it up on the wall. Like, I was chilling, and I had put her obituary. I had a wall, like, my bed was right here, like my bed was going across right here. There was like a wall right here. So I put her obituary on the wall, and I had this handkerchief. But we'll get into the handkerchief later. I have the same handkerchief up. So if you know me, you're gonna know that you're gonna see a handkerchief in my house. You're gonna see one like on a wall, and I'll explain why. So after my grandma died, it was like a feeling almost of being vulnerable, not in an emotional sense, but in a spiritual sense. Like, I know my sister felt like this as well a little bit, but it kind of felt like the cape of protection that was around us was kind of put down. At that time I was in church, so, I pray for myself too, no big deal. But, but it was still a feeling of being vulnerable. Like, I feel like I can be attacked. I feel like that's how much strength she had in the spirit, what God had blessed her with. And so, I was just going through. I was grieving like crazy. I was super sad. I couldn't really grieve at home because my mom, that was like her best friend, and we all lived together. So it was like me, my sister, my niece, another family member. So it's just like, there's a lot of people that's all grieving one person, and you don't want to add on to that, or you be grieving and then they start grieving again. It's just a lot. So I didn't really have the opportunity to really just grieve for myself, because people that I love are hurting, and you don't want to add on to that. So once I got home, I was bawling my eyes out. I was struggling. Then I go to class. When I finally do go back to class, I think I didn't go to class for like a week or something like that. So I told my teachers, like, hey, my grandma passed away, so I am not going to be coming to class for a second. I just need some time. And they was all understanding, obviously. So when I did go back to class, in biology specifically, when I tell y'all, it about took me out. It about took me out when I went back to biology class. So I went back to class. I was on the front row, minding my own business. You try to get stuff to block your mind. Plus, you're in college, so unless you about to flunk out, you're gonna have to get it together. So the world moves on, unfortunately. So I went ahead and I went to class, sitting down on the front row, take my notes, look up. We're getting shown a video and going through a PowerPoint of atrial fibrillation. On Good Friday, the day before Good Friday, I literally watched my grandmother go through atrial fibrillation multiple times, at least twice. She didn't die, but I'm just saying, multiple times. So to hear somebody walk through what your heart is doing while you have a flashback of seeing what someone is going through in that, about took me out. I made it through class, trying not to cry. I think that part of class was like the last part. So we was about to go, and we always prayed before we left. Prayed. When I was out the door, by the time they was amen, about 3 seconds later, I was at that door trying to get somewhere, because everyone gets out of class about the same time. Like, certain classes are going to get out at the same time. So all these people, I'm trying to hold it together so I can get somewhere. Can't go to that bathroom, it ain't gonna work. Go downstairs, go to the first floor. This is in the library. Go to the first floor, go in that bathroom. I was bawling my eyes out. I was bawling my eyes out. Call my mom. Ring, ring, ring. Call my mom. I said, Mom, I can't do it. I said, I cannot do it. And I was crying so hard. I said, Mom, I cannot do it. I can't. Like, I can't go through that. I can't. I was crying, so I didn't care who was in the bed. I was crying so bad. I said, Mommy, I can't. And she was like, no, you're gonna be okay. You're okay. I was like, I was out of there, and it was around it was worse because, I'm not gonna cry. It was worse because it was around the time that before she died. First of all, the whole thing was just fast. Whole thing was fast because I was at the house the weekend before she died, and she was not fine. Like, she wasn't fine. Like, when we say fine, you perfect. Like, you great. She wasn't great. However, she was walking around, she was talking, she was okay. And the way things progress so fast is just horrible. So I say that to say, in the weeks before then, every time around that time, that's when me and her would talk. She would call me. I started calling. I was like, I'm gonna call you every time. It might have been every Friday or every Wednesday and every Friday, because I always had class at a certain time, like 2 or 3 times during the week. So I would always call, and then it became a thing. She would call me, I call her, we talk, and it was around that time. It was around that time. Just got through with this class where they showing all this stuff. Of course, this is the first thing I see when I go back to class. The devil just was messing with me in general this whole time. So I was like, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna be able to go to class. And what do you want me to do? Like, I can't do this. So come to find out, she was real stressed about that, and the whole family, like, she told the family, they didn't think I was gonna finish college. Like, they was really worried about me. And I was seriously struggling for a second. But I was struggling for a second, but I didn't quit. I just I tried. I just tried to keep going. So I went in my room. It was at least a week. For at least a week, I didn't leave my room. Like, I went to the caf, got like some to-go stuff, came back to my room. Or I wouldn't even go to the caf. I'd go get some Chick-fil-A or something like that, so I wouldn't have to really go through all those people and stuff. Go Chick-fil-A or something, come back, eat, be done. I would not leave my room like that. I was not hanging out with my friends, my family like that. They knew what was going on, my friends, and I was like, yeah, I'm just leave me alone. So I was just being left alone, and I was really just by myself in my room for a while. I don't know how long that lasted. It might have been a month. I don't know how long it lasted. It wasn't too long, but it was for a second. And then, because I remember going back out into life, going to the lunchroom and actually sitting in there and like engaging with people. I remember getting back to trying. So that happened after a little bit. So after that, you know, I was going through that for a little bit, but here comes the torture part. I would literally be in my room, minding my own business, doing whatever it was that I was doing, and I have been severely scared of sleep paralysis. I don't know what it is about it that scares me so deeply, but it has always been something that's like, ugh. Even now, it's not as bad as it was then, because at this point, I have the understanding that either God's going to allow something or he's not. And if he does, he's still in control of the situation. So get over it, because worrying about it ain't going to do nothing. So I'm at that point now, but in the back of my mind, it's like, Lord, I really stuffed, Lord. Like, even last night, anytime I had to wake up at like 4 or something in the morning, or just wake up in general and go back to sleep at night, I'd be like, God, please, like, please, Lord, like, I understand, like I get it, it's up to you, but please. And I think it came after we went to Truth Behind Hip Hop. We went to one of those. I forgot which one. It might have been 7. We went to one and they was talking about it, and I think that's where it stemmed from. But I don't know. Either way it goes, I had a deep-seated fear of that. And the devil, I believe in the devil. I believe in spirits. I believe in all of it. I believe in what they call the paranormal. I believe in it because, look, we're actually gonna have a story time about it in a couple weeks. So long story short, girl, when I tell you I'll be in my bedroom minding my own business and be trying to go to sleep, whatever, and the devil would be like, you don't know what I'm doing when you sleep. He'd be like, you don't know what I can do when you sleep. You're not gonna be able to go to sleep. I would literally be being mentally tortured every night. Every single night. Mentally tortured. I was not touched. At that time, there was nothing that was shaking or nothing like that. Nothing visibly that I could see. But I was being mentally tortured every night with those type of thoughts of spiritual warfare. And so I said, okay, that's cool, that's fine. I had a Bible. I always have my Bible. I have a Bible right here. But I always have a Bible somewhere now. My aunt said the same thing. I always have a Bible on your pillow, by your bed, something, because that would be tripping. And I had a pillow. I had a Bible on my bed. And I said, you know what? That's cool. That's fine. I said, my grandma was a powerful woman of God. She's not here. That's cool. That's fine. However, I have her handkerchief. And I believe that we can touch and agree with this handkerchief. I believe that God will honor me touching and agreeing. I believe that God himself will have his own power on him, just himself, not me, not her, just him in this handkerchief. So at that dorm, in my mom's apartment, at my house before we moved out, my sister's apartment, and this apartment, I've always had a handkerchief. Always. And I put the handkerchief in my bedroom. At that time, it was in my dorm, so I put the handkerchief right. I don't remember if I put it. I think I put it where the obituary was, so like it was like right next to me. I had it right there, and no. It was because there's a wall right here and there's a wall like right here. So then I had it like on that wall back there, and I said that's fine to the devil. It's like, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, but you're not passing this handkerchief. You're not gonna pass this handkerchief. And then at a time, we also had those little prayer cloths that the church would give you. And I had prayer cloth, and I would take the prayer cloth, thumbtack it into the handkerchief, and I would put it up. And if anything, it's just a visual aid for you to have more peace within yourself. You do whatever you need to do for you to be okay. And that's what I do for me to be okay. And I have it everywhere. I always have one up. At this point now, my house is blessed, but I'm not taking this handkerchief down. And it's always at my door. Always at my door. You can do whatever you want to do, but you're not passing where this handkerchief is. I don't care what you think you got going on, Mr. Devil. But as for me, this handkerchief, the Lord, and this line I done drew in the sand, you gonna stay back there. And that's how I've been able to maintain. So there's a picture that I always like to use, and it's me at church. And I had gone down, and it was the middle of a service actually. And the choir had just sung. I had never heard that song in my life. I still don't even know what song that was. But that song was everything for me. And I was crying, bawling my eyes out, thanking God. And they were trying to move on with service, but I was thanking God. And I done raised up a praise break on accident. It's like I didn't even mean to do none of that. I'm just trying to thank and praise God because I'm going through right now. I'm going through grief. Got demons over here messing with me. I'm trying to go to school, but school tripping, giving me all these flashbacks. Just going through. So I go down. It's not altar call. It's like the middle of church. It's like before offering at this point. Go down, and I'm trying to get prayer. So then Elder Kemp came down, and he prayed with me, and I just needed help. I needed someone to touch and agree with me so that we can get this to stop, because I've already prayed for this to stop. But maybe if we touch and agree, God, He'll go ahead and make it stop, because help me. I can't go through this too much longer. And that's what that picture was. And in that picture, I'm wearing my grandmother's shoes. And it's not like I'm just idolizing my grandma or nothing, but me and my grandma always shared clothes because I could wear her clothes. So when she died, a lot of the clothes that the rest of my family couldn't wear, I could wear. So I was able to keep them. So, excuse me. So I was wearing her shoes. I was wearing her little over thing. I would just call it a jacket, but it's not a jacket. It's like a bolero. I think it's a bolero. I was wearing her bolero, and I think that's it. But and her headband. And I always like to show people or say that because it's like my grandma, she was grandma. She been a grandma forever, but she was hip. She was hip to the day. She is still hip. I'm sure. What else she doing flying around? What else she doing? She is still hip. And I always like to show that because that's something that she would wear on a regular day. She was super just beautiful. She was a beautiful person. She is a beautiful person, and I love her such. And so, but after I had gotten prayer for that, I think not too long after that, I stopped going through a lot of the stuff that I was going through. It was very trying. It was a trying time. I wish I hadn't had to go through so much at that time, but still, that's what I went through. God blessed me to come out of that. I was okay. I didn't flunk out of anything. I didn't go through no deep spiral of depression. I didn't go and sleep with a whole bunch of people or go to clubs and get drunk all the time. I didn't do any of that. I really just was able to maintain. I was able to maintain my salvation. I was able to maintain myself. It was just something that I had to walk through and go through. That was my first close death. You know, no one close to me had died at that point. So that really hurt. And then right after her, a month after her sister died, which was my favorite aunt. My favorite great aunt. I loved her to life, and it hurt me so much because I couldn't even grieve her because the grief of my grandma was so strong that I didn't have anything else to give. Like, I literally didn't have anything else to give, and that itself hurt me. I was able to get a couple tears out, sure, but it was just grieving after someone so close to you passes away is just difficult. It's hard. It's different. It's a lot of things. But that's that. That's that story. That's what happened. I'm yet standing. I'm yet strong. This is her bed. It was my mom's first. I didn't just take all her stuff, I promise. This is my mom's first. My mom, when we moved out and I moved over here to Irving after I moved out of my sister's house, my mom was moving and she wanted new furniture and stuff. So she gave me the bed, and I have the just all the bedroom stuff, and I have the couches as well. And I love that I have the couches because I was actually the only one in the house the first day we got the couches. It was me and my grandma, and I remember that like it was yesterday, and she was laying on her chase, and she was so happy about her chase and everything, and I just remember that day. So it's a nice full circle. I have a picture of me and my grandma up there. I have pictures of her in different places, but I just love that woman so much. I went through so much when she died, but I honestly believe that she prayed for us before she died, and I don't think that she would have left without praying and asking God to keep us protected and safe and to keep us. So I just thank God for whatever prayers that she had, whatever she interceded. She lived a lot of her life for us. And I just thank God for the woman that she was, for the ministry that she gave, for the words that still encourage us today, for being that bridge, that band-aid, and that glue, for being everything, not just for her intermediate family, but for her nephews, for her cousins, for her church, associated church members, for whoever. There are pastors that I love your grandma. Your grandma was everything. Your grandma was great. Your grandma was close. Your grandma was And it's amazing to hear someone say that about someone that you love so dearly, that they're also loved by people that aren't in their family. So, thanks for watching, y'all. That's my story. That's my testimony. Oh, the testimony part is God kept me. He kept me. He kept me. Going through all of that. He kept me. He brought me back to perfect peace. I wasn't in perfect peace in that situation, necessarily. But I wasn't going crazy. I didn't lose my mind. Dealing with all these daggum, ugly little spirits and demons trying to get on my nerve. I didn't lose my mind. I was alright. And you will be alright too. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know anything that you would like me to know. Turn on your post notifications. But you gotta like, comment, and subscribe first. At least like it. At least subscribe. Like, join me. Let me know anything that you want me to know. Let me know if you want me to react to anything or have a specific video talking about anything. I do take recommendations and suggestions, honey. So let me know what you want me to do in the comment section below. I love y'all with the love of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Peace